Okay. Anna's here too. Yeah. She's hanging out. Zipping around. Getting into trouble. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Climbing up in the curtains. A new favorite pastime. Hi. Howdy. How's it going? I'm gonna do some Vampire Survivors today because I have vampire stuff to talk about. And if I don't talk about it now, I am afraid I will forget. So let's go ahead and get it out of my brain. Let's suck it all out. Let's do this. Let me get myself set up. I also do not have like an outfit set up with my little PeatiJ tuber yet for Vampire Survivors. And I was thinking about it before stream. I was like, you know what? I could do that. It wouldn't be too hard. What do you put on a vampire's head? Yeah, Anna? Do you know? It's not a riddle. I genuinely just don't know. Mm-hmm. You got the classic hair with the widow's peak. I don't really want to do hair. The only kind of hair I'm probably going to do is anime hair, and that's for the bit. I don't want to have a top hat. That's too much. What the fuck do you put on a vampire's head? I'll have to think about that one. If you have any ideas, call this number. I don't actually have... I have a Google number, but I ain't putting that on the internet. It already gets enough spam phone calls. Thank you very much. I don't need more. Alright. I checked my achievements. There is a little bit of new content. There is something called Arcanas. I don't know if we saw that last time. I haven't fucked with it much, if we did. But, let's just do a nice warm-up Jalo Tower over here. And we'll do a hurry. Yeah? No hurry. I'm not in a hurry. I got some anime to talk about, because I watched anime this week. I've been on like an anime kick this week. The past 2 weeks, probably. And I found some vampire anime to consume. And let's talk about that. let's talk about the I don't want to call it suffering. Tracer's really good. I wouldn't go as far to say suffering. It was fine. It was just fine. I would say that this week's vampire content was very average. It was fine. It was okay. Fair to middling. You know, like whatever. None of these. Let's banish. I don't banish enough. Get out of here, wings. I don't know if this is used for anything right now, but fuck them. So, I'm gonna go ahead and start by saying that there are spoilers, especially for the first one. So if this is a show that you are interested in, then beware, I guess. I'll try to start off with a general little synopsis, and then I'll let you decide if you want to stick around or not. The first show that I watched earlier this week was a show that was on Netflix. Boo, we hate it. But it was on Netflix, and it was called Vampire in the Garden. Or A Vampire in the Garden, I think. But, and very basically, to summarize the, like, to give a summary of the plot without any spoilers, I'd say it's pretty much like Attack on Titan world, where, like, humanity's almost over, there's not that many people left, because there's so many vampires, and I guess they want them dead. They never really clarified. I don't know. And they're at war with the fucking vampires. And, the main character is a girl named Momo, and her mother is a general, and like the leader of whatever's left of the humans. The show is pretty vague about a lot of stuff, so I can't really like explain the things that they didn't teach me or tell me, so I'm trying my best here. And anyway, Momo runs away from home. This is all in the first episode. She runs away from home, and she goes on a road trip with a vampire. And the vampire is Queen of the Vampires. A queen of the vampires. Question mark? Maybe? They called her queen. They also said there was another queen, so I'm not exactly sure. And that's basically the story. It's I would say like the lukewarm water of a sapphic story. It's implied, but that's all about that they give you, you know. Like they don't do any legwork for you, you know. Just about. At the most, I think in the first episode, you have Momo hold hands with a girl that she's really close with. Jesus, Anna. I don't know if you heard that, but damn, she got some lungs on her. Yeah. Baby, you okay? She's running around. She's got the zoomies. Yeah, she holds hands, and there's like a, I don't know, that would be spoilers. So it's implied. It's very watered down. I mean, I guess it's more than nothing. I will give them that as far as sapphic representation goes. The most interesting part about it, in my opinion, was that. So we do see in the first episode, we see the contrast between Momo's life, the human, and Fine, which is the vampire queen that we end up following. We see scenes of them when they're like on their own, and Fine's like at a ball, and she's there with this woman, and she you may have seen the gift set. If not, Alex, I'll send it to you. But she picks up a girl and flies up in the air with her, and it's all good fun. And then she like throws them into the crowd, and she's laughing. It's a great time. Somebody off camera is like, off to the side is like, well, she comes with somebody new every time. That's wild. And that's about as much representation as you get. Oh yeah, the most interesting part about it is that there's like almost, I would say, basically no men in the plotline that are not either side bit characters that you see for like one episode, or family, blood related to the main characters. So it is, in lieu of having actual like sapphic representation, they just eject men from the story entirely. There is the most refreshing part of it being like, there is no like plot line where they're like, you need to find a man, Fine, because we need a king. Nothing. Nobody cares. Nobody mentions it. It's almost like outside of about like 2 or 3 scenes, relationships don't super exist in this world. It's kind of what it feels like a little bit. Like, I mean, again, there's implication, but that's about the gist of it. Other than the, there's like 2 characters, I think, that get some form of like, oh yeah, well, they were gonna get married, or yeah, they are together, canonically. Like you don't ever see anybody's parents, except for Momo has a mother, who is the general. I think that's it. I'm trying to think back. I think that's pretty much it. And then the uncle, at one point, his backstory, this would be spoilers, by the way, a little bit, mild spoilers, but his backstory has a woman that he was going to get married to, and then couldn't. But I'll go into details on that in a bit, I guess. It's not that interesting, but you know, it's something. So I guess spoilers from this point, because if you are interested in it, go watch it. It was fine. I give it a 5 out of 10. Whatever. It was fine. If you're already interested in it, then just watch it. You won't probably dislike it, but you probably won't like it that much either. It's my prediction. Let me know if I'm right. That would be hell yeah. But it's fine. From this point on, if you're still kind of lukewarm on it, then I'll just start talking about spoilers, probably. So, use your own discretion on that one. If I did have to recommend it to anybody, I would say it was really beautifully animated in some sequences. There was a couple of scenes that were really nice. If you're not in the grungy, snowy, icy scenes, which is like 80% of the scenes, then it's pretty well animated and really beautiful to watch. There's some interesting concepts. Like I said, if you're starved for sapphic representation, then there's some implication there. Go for it, champ. But I think let me hang on. I got my notes up. Let's see if I had anything else that I would recommend it. Visuals. Oh, the music was really good. I wouldn't say like it's good to go listen to outside of the show, but it was very like thematically perfect alongside the characters and the scenes themselves. Yeah, that's basically it. If none of that appeals to you, or if you're still not super convinced, then I would say don't bother. It's fine. 5 out of 10. Spoiler time. So, alright. The first episode opens up, and you are with Momo, and she is in basically what is the human city that is just a big tower. It's just a big tower. And there's like the implication of there not being really many humans left, and this is all they have. They have no in this city. They have no music, and no dancing, and no fun. It is the oh god, what is that movie? It is the equivalent of Dirty Dancing world. You are not supposed to have fun. You stop that. And the general, the mother of the main character Momo, is just a hard ass, and she's out for blood for the vampires, like literally. You get the implication that you're not really. She seems to kind of overdo it, or you don't really know why, and they don't really like explain it. But at this point in the story, it kind of is like, oh, okay, well they're foreshadowing something, or they're leading up to something, which is like, oh, well, the vampires, you assume, right, from the first episode, you assume, oh, okay, we're gonna find out that the vampires aren't that bad after all, she just has a grudge or whatever. That's the implication in the first episode. And Momo, she's working at a trash plant? I don't know, it was like a lower level job, because they didn't want to like, they didn't want people to think that she was getting like favoritism because she's the daughter of the general. And this gives her, in the story, it gives her an opportunity to meet other people, and she meets a young girl here. I don't remember her name. It was weird because in the subtitles it was different than the dub, so it was very confusing. I think it was like Marina was what the I'm gonna go with whatever the subtitle said, which was Marina, I think. So she's met Marina through this job, and that's basically why she's here. In the story, at least, that's why she's here. And you see a couple scenes with them together where she's friends with her. I think the very opening scene is they're hunting vampires for whatever ungodly reason. I guess just to establish the world. And Momo hesitates to kill one, but Marina, I think, saves her from a vampire that takes like this drug and goes fucking crazy. And then she ends up with a music box. That's the important part you need to know about that. But yeah, there's a couple of scenes with Marina and Momo, and they're really good friends. She brings her the music box, and she's like, fix it up for me so I can hear it. And I think they talk on like the phone later and stuff, which again is like weird implication of like, is this, because I want to, well, never mind. I cannot speak on Attack on Titan. I did not watch enough of it. I don't remember if they had technology really or not, or if it was just like ye olden times for the most part, but they had phones in this. And let me think. There's a couple of scenes that's cute. She ends up, they like are outside with a sled at one point, and Momo's like hauling her around with the sled, and then they crash into a thing. She's like, Momo, are you okay? And then they come up and they're both on the ground. They hold hands. Like there's your lukewarm sapphic representation, is they hold hands. There's the implication that you need, and that she's very, very devoted to this person. So, like, could easily be friends, could easily not. They don't clarify. They don't let us know, but we'll assume for the time being that they have a strong connection. We'll call it that. We'll be as lukewarm as the show. Fine. You want to be like that? Fine. But, let me think. All of that leads up to pretty much, the vampires. You see a couple scenes with Fine, and they're at the ball. You see she's kind of fun-loving. Takes things pretty lightly, but when you see kind of behind closed doors, she doesn't drink blood. She refuses to drink blood. Her brother comes and checks on her and is like, you need to drink blood or you're gonna die. Doesn't really take her that seriously, and she's like, well, I'll just die then. And he's like, yeah, okay, whatever. You're gonna drink blood eventually. He doesn't take her very seriously. But it is obviously implied that he cares about her and wants to help her, even if he's not very good at it. She seems to be depressed and whatever behind closed doors. The brother is staging an attack because of the killed vampires in the very first intro of the show itself, and he's staged this attack to get revenge. And the queen is like, yeah, whatever, I don't really care that much. I'll show up for your stupid thing, but I wish you wouldn't. Kind of weird like that. And he's like, yeah, okay, whatever. And they go through all that sequence, and the queen flies off, and she's just kind of putzing around. And at the same time, in Momo's experience, in Momo's timeline over there, she has an encounter with her mom, where her mom finds the music box. She loses her shit. She is confirmed absolutely abusive, and is like, she hits her, I think, and she also demeans her, and is like, I do this for your own good. You know, textbook show narcissistic abuse character. And Momo's like, fuck that, and leaves and runs away. And she ends up outside where she's got the music box and she's listening to it. And the queen, who is familiar with the song, hears it and shows up, basically. I think they kind of fumble this because that's what they wanted to do, but they also don't necessarily do that. I don't know. Other people show up. It's confusing. It's really weird. And it was like a week ago that I watched it, so I'm not like 100%. So yeah, they meet up, whatever, doesn't matter. And Momo freaks out. She starts running away from her. And Marina shows up and shoots the queen. Doesn't do much because it's a vampire. And the queen ends up saving Marina from a vampire who's gone feral on the battlefield. And that is what convinces, I believe, Momo to trust this person. She tries to save Marina, I should say, also, because she fails. She does not succeed. And Marina dies, and Momo is very upset. There's another scene where the mom's there, and Momo is very torn about going with this person because doesn't trust vampires. And Finesse is basically like begging her, kind of like, listen, if you come with me, we can go somewhere where vampires and humans can live together. And she really tries to convince her, and Momo's really hesitant. And then I think, I don't know, somebody says something. I think the mom's like, we need her to hold her accountable or something, which is, you know, the narcissism, doesn't really care about her daughter's shit. And then she's like, okay, I'll go with you. So they fucking get out of there. Fine can fly, so, you know, they zip on out of there. And there's a whole chase scene and fight scene and whatever, but that's the main thing you need to know about the first episode. There's also another character that shows up who's the, we found out a little bit later, is the uncle of Momo. And he's like a cool badass dude. Honestly, probably my favorite character in the show. But, what is that last thing? Oh, that's the rune tracer thing. I've been so zoned out talking. I just looked up at my items and was like, wait a second. What is that? What do I have? So, let me think. After this point, it gets kind of fuzzy. I have a lot to say on that, but I'm gonna keep it short and sweet and just go through the plot real quick. Basically, the show kind of devolves into a pattern, like a lockstep pattern of they're on the run, they're trying to find Eden, which is the place that Fine says is the place where humans and vampires can live together. They're being chased, they are found, and then they get away. That happens, I want to say, every single episode after that point. I want to say every episode has that same routine. And the brother wants to find his sister, the queen vampire, and the uncle and the mother later joins in, wants to find Momo. For different reasons, but that's basically it. The military, the human military, and the vampires are both following them. It kind of harkens a little bit of a, a little bit of a Romeo and Juliet, slightly, not quite, because they don't really care. I think that they're together. Nope, nobody really cares that they're together, other than like, you stop that. Like, I guess we don't really get a scene. They probably would care, but we don't really get that scene. The main reason is that they just want them back where they're supposed to be, is kind of the implication, right? Would have been nice if we had gotten that scene, but I'll go into that in a bit, because the show itself is 5 episodes long, and it's like a, what is it? Hang on, it's like a net series. I have it written down somewhere. I think it was like a Japanese net series. I'll just go into it now. So it was very short, which is why it's like, if you're interested in it, just watch it. I finished it in one sitting. Trying to remember where I was. I got a lot of fucking worms on my on my ass here. I'm a little concerned. Mildly concerned. Look at that dog run. Look at him go. Okay. Where was I? Let's see. The second episode, they go to a house. They hang out a little bit. There's the garden in the title. It's there. There's a vampire in the garden. It's her own garden, which was not what I expected. But that's fine. Whatever. They are, of course, if you remember, they are pursued, found, and they must run away in this episode. And they get away in a truck, and they're on the road, and it becomes basically a road trip kind of show for like 2 episodes. I don't really need coins anymore. Sure. Give me that. Sure. Was there anything? Let me check my notes really quickly. Was there anything that I'm missing important about the second episode? No, it's literally 2 sentences. Okay, cool. What about the third episode? Is that when they go? Okay. Not that interesting, but I'll summarize it real quick. They end up in a town where there's humans on one side of the town, like on the left side of a bridge, and there's vampires on the other side. So we obviously see that they are not the only humans left in existence. They do not really coexist, but they live in the same area as each other, same area code. It's kind of like a military fortress on the human side, seems like. And just a lawless wasteland, I guess, on the vampire side. And there's a sequence here where we find out a bit more about Fine, and basically Fine, at an undetermined point before the show started, knew a human, and she basically implication of fell in love with the human, and the human taught her how to play the piano. And when we found out this a little bit later, but I'm gonna go ahead and fill you in. Basically, the vampires. I think it was the vampire. I don't know. The humans and the vampires. Somebody wasn't happy about it, so they stormed the house that they were living in, the house we see in episode 2, and she ends up dying. The hope that she has for that place where vampires and humans can coexist, Eden, comes from this character that she loved, and she is very understandably fucking crushed when this happens, and she basically, for all intents, gives up, and she stops drinking blood. She doesn't care anymore. She's done. She's checked out. And this is where we start to see some of the dismantling of the plot itself, since things really start to not make any sense, I would say, personally, is in this character, in this arc. But I'll circle back. Okay, yeah. So Momo poses as a blood bag for Fine, because they can't be in the same parts of the city together, so in order to get Momo into the vampire parts, she has to pretend to be Meals on Wheels for her. And they get into a hotel, and they are having a good time. There's a piano in the room, so they hang out, sing a little ditty. Fine basically is teaching Momo how to just, follow her instincts and sing and dance and stuff like that. And then, think if there's anything else. Oh yeah, and then towards the end of the scene, or in the next scene, I don't remember exactly, sometime in the hotel, Fine's bloodlust kicks in, and she goes fucking berserk, and is like, she beats up Momo a little bit, but then she kicks her out of the room, because she doesn't want to hurt her? Kind of already, smashes her across the table, I don't know. She doesn't want to drain her blood, I guess. Fair enough. And she's like, you need to leave, you need to go away. Momo is upset by this, because she's like, you're the one who told me we were going to find this place together, and now you want to leave me? Fuck that. So she breaks into the human side, grabs some blood, brings it back. The whole place is on fire, because they're like, oh, there's a human here? We gotta find him. The other vampires are like that. And Momo picks up Fine and carries them off into the wild, and somehow they get out of there fine. Don't worry about it. She hooks her up to an IV, forces her to take the blood, and goes on with the experience, the road trip. Yeah, I think that's about it. I want to say, yeah, there is a point in the scene where the brother does catch up to Momo. They have a confrontation. Doesn't really go anywhere. Once again, she gets away. It's not really explained how she gets away. She just does. And then, yeah, they're back on the road. What was episode 4? There's 5 episodes total, so let's see. What was episode 4? Oh, okay. No, at the end of episode 3, in the town episode that we were just talking about, they're on the road, but I want to say either the car breaks down and they're on foot, or they are yeah, I think so. I think the car breaks down and they're on foot. And she's dragging Fine, who's basically useless right now, because she don't feel good. And, in the same sled kind of scene we saw in the first episode, she's dragging her in a boat or something. And trying to think, is there anything else? Okay, yeah, she passes out in the snow. When she wakes up, she's in a village. That's weird, huh? And then this girl talks to her and lets her know that they made it to Eden. They did it. Oh, that's great. That was fast. What the fuck? What is that? What's going on here? I didn't believe it at first. I figured at first it was the old bait and switch. They're like, oh yeah, this is great. This is a wonderful place. And then, no, they just found her postcard or whatever, and Which, wait, she didn't have her postcard at that point. How did they know that she was looking for Eden? Anyway. Mysterious. Anyway. There may have been a reason. Her map. Maybe she had a map. I don't know. Regardless. They made it. Episode 4 begins. Everything seems hunky-dory. Momo's into it. She's here for it. Fine not so much. She's skeptical. But that's fine. We'll win her over, right? There's an encounter at one point when they're touring the place. Momo gets really buddy with the another girl, a vampire that lives in this town. And while they're taking the tour, they encounter a vampire who is obviously restrained in like a wall tomb or something, or like he's behind a big metal door. He's locked up, and their reasoning is because he has blood addiction, and that there's nothing you can do for him. And the whole time he's like, don't trust them, don't fucking listen to them. They're nut jobs, don't do it. Hunky-dory. We love that. Momo's still here for it. She's still fine with it. Fine's like, this is weird, but whatever, I'm depressed, so not a big deal, I guess. And they go on, and Momo's having the time of her life. Fine's not feeling it. The brother catches up to them, once again, and has a conversation with Fine, which is basically... let me double check really quickly. Just 1 second, make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Yeah, I don't think I'm forgetting anything. Basically, the brother shows up, convinces her that Momo's happy here. Listen, we need you back at home. Please, sister, please, we need you back. You're the queen. We need you. Would you come home? And Fine is like, whatever. She hears Momo laughing and having a good time. She's like, okay, fine. What's going on down there? Excuse me. So she's like, okay, I'll go with you. Whatever. Let's leave. And she leaves. And she's gone. And that's when Momo is like, that's fucking weird. I want to go find Fine. She's missing. Let's go find her. I want to go with you. And the vampire girl that runs the place, we find out later, runs the place, actively is the leader of this place. That is not implied at the beginning. I don't think. I don't remember it being implied. Basically locks Momo up, is like, we'll go find her. You stay here. And Momo is not happy about this. And finds a way to escape. And at this time, roughly... Oh, shit. Oh, ooh, 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 ooh. Ow, 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 ow. Stay below him. Hang on. Crab Legs over here is doing some damage. Let me focus for a second. Momo escapes, and about this time, our uncle and all of their... Ooh, that guy's still alive. All of the military and the mother as well, the general, shows up with all the military force and whatever. And they're bickering. That's pretty fun. I will say that the scenes with the brother are my favorite. And the scenes with the mom and the brother, pretty great too, because he doesn't give a shit. He's like, whatever, you're a narcissist and whatever, and the sister is like losing her mind about it. It's great. Anyway, so they show up with the military force. And the vampires at this time show up, because he goes and gets, Fine needs to sleep or whatever, so he goes and gets some backup. The vampires show up about the same time. And, the village people... people that live in the village, the vampires and the humans, try to play it cool, and they're like, no, the uncle's like, no, we know what's going on here. I don't trust you for 2 seconds. And they're like, okay, well. And they start fighting, I think. I think that's what happens. Fights break out, essentially. And the uncle's a badass, he's pretty cool. And at this point, I think Momo is under She finds a submarine to, I don't know, hide in. I don't remember how she got there really. But she's in this submarine thing and it's like covered in blood, and you meet the vampire that was locked up again, and he's like, they found some way to take my regeneration power, feed me blood, and use my regeneration power as a form of electricity. Like, really weird, but okay. Alright, we'll circle back. The vampire leader kills him immediately, and is like, listen, it's fine. We're gonna replace him with Fine. It's cool. It's not a big deal. And at this point, for no reason at all, the vampire leader lady loses her mind. She goes absolutely bonkers, and Momo is like, I'm not gonna be your friend. I'm not gonna do it. And the lady's like, well, you got to, or else I don't know what. You have to. And she's like going full wild mode, right? For no reason. She had no reason to do this. Oh, I died. There's a boy on me. I didn't even see him. Let me get that meat. We're at the last 2 minutes, so I gotta like sort of focus. It's kinda, sorta. If I go like in here, will all my rune tracers bounce the fuck? They will. They will obliterate. Alright, I should be fine here. Let me think. Yeah, so Momo fights her. Momo's kind of a badass in this scene. I will give her that. But she ends up blowing up the submarine that she's in. And then water starts pouring in. And she basically drowns. End scene. End episode. I think that's how the episode ends completely. Fine's like, oh, well, wait, hang on. Momo needs me. I don't... Oh, they capture her, that's right. They find Fine and they put her in a tomb. And once fighting starts breaking out, like, she's just left abandoned, and she wakes up and she's like, what the fuck? What happened? She's like, I'm gonna go find Momo. Because Momo needs my help for some reason. I don't even know if she knows that or not. She goes to find Momo. And she dives into the water where the uncle and the mother are looking on. It's really cool. Again, the best parts are the uncle parts, because the uncle's like, whoop. We did it. The uncle is like, he's already got his shirt off. You know he's gonna dive in there, but Fine gets there first. So like, he was gonna put the effort in. And for all we know up to this point, all his motivation, as he tells us, is basically, you're my niece. I want to help you. And Momo's like, I don't fucking know you. So he seems like a cool guy, all things considered. Interesting kind of dude. I like him. Whatever. So she pulls him out. There's no real scene of like, oh god, is she gonna be fine? No, she's fine. She's just coughing up the water. It's fine. Let me think. The brother shows up at this point. Yep. Momo and Fine fly away as the army with as the human army starts to fight the vampire army. They start going at it as so they fly away because they got time. Fine is shot by the uncle's friend. They get to cover, but Fine decides that, Momo, you go on without me. I will sacrifice myself. I am done. I am at my end. She doesn't say this. It is implied, very vaguely. But basically, she's done. She wants to be done. And, let me think. We did Jello Tower. Oh, that wasn't Hyper. I should have done Hyper. The Bone Zone. Let's do the Bone Zone. I did use this character in the Bone Zone, I think. I'm having flashbacks. Get the whip. He is fast as fuck. My goodness. Maybe I didn't. If I did, it was just like for a second. Did I get the achievement? Let me check. I was trying to get one of the achievements for the gun. Did I get the gun achievement? I did not. look last game. And Steam is not responding to me. Steam, wake up. Wake up, buddy. We're doing something. We're busy. We're trying to talk about vampires. Steam, I need you. Did I get the achievement? No, I didn't. I don't know what I need for that achievement, but we'll just try again. Sure. Where was I? Episode 5. Okay. So basically, let me think. They fly away. They don't get very far. She decides to self-sacrifice. Fine does. Spoilers, by the way. Major spoilers. The uncle shows up. He is here, and he's trying to prove. Momo's like, no, I'm gonna circle back. I'm gonna come around and meet up with you, because I'm not gonna let you do this. And the brother, I think, meets up with her as well, and is like, you have to save her. You're the only one that can, for some reason. It's not really explained. He's just like, thinks that, and he's like, I think, shot at this point, and for whatever thematic purposes, that's one shot too many, and he cannot regenerate. He dies in the snow, whatever. And Momo circles back. Let me make sure really quick that that's basically everything from the beginning of that episode. Yeah, okay. So yeah, the uncle is duking it out with Fine, and she's in full monster mode. She has taken the goop that has turned her into a gargoyle of a creature, and yeah, the uncle and her are duking it out. They're both at this point mega badasses. The uncle in particular, since the vampire is supposed to be stupid strong, but whatever. We're not gonna worry about that too much. And he's basically, he's going on his tirade, which is like, I know what you are. You're a vampire. You only want one thing, and I won't let you do this to Momo because she is my niece and I love her. And they're duking it out, and then Momo shows up and is like, I don't know you, literally. I've never met you. You held me when I was a baby, and that's it. So I want you to butt out of my life. And I think at this point she ends up like, if she doesn't actually do it, she tries to like stab him. So she's serious, basically. She's serious about this whole like back the fuck off thing. And the uncle's like, I'm just trying to help you. Listen to me, please, for the love of God. And eventually he's fine, but he gets not incapacitated, but he gives up, I guess. He gets hurt in a certain way where he's fine. He's in the snow. He's just chilling out in the snow. But they end up running away at this point, and he just kind of gives up at this point because he's like, okay, you've accepted your... You obviously want this. I'm not going to try and stop you anymore. Where was I? The mother shows up. You get a small flashback scene of the uncle who was going to marry a vampire and ended up having a horrible wedding day for whatever reason. The mother was there, so you can assume sabotage, or you could not. They don't really explain it. They're just like, yeah, it's a thing. And then that's his tragic backstory, basically, is that he was going to marry a vampire lady that he loved and ended up having to kill her, question mark. I don't remember the specifics, but it was a sad. He was tore up about it, didn't trust vampires anymore. That's his backstory. So it's like, okay, cool. They wrapped up his story. You got 5 episodes to get through this. I get it. Let's keep it moving. See, yeah, the mother's there. What happens specifically after that point? Yeah, they leave together. Fine is mortally wounded at this point. And this is probably the best, most beautifully animated scene in the show itself, I would say. Where they end up, they're flying away, and Fine crashes into the ground, into the snow, and crawls into a cave or Momo follows her, and there is a bed of flowers in the cave. Going back, I should have gone back and seen what kind of flowers they were, because that could have had some lovely symbolism, but I didn't look. And Fine's monster form melts away, and Momo is like, you can't do this, you can't leave me, don't die. And Fine's like, it's my time, it's time to go. And they have a touching scene where she's like, please sing for me. And Momo's like, I can't do it. And then she dies. And that's that on that, I guess. Momo, at this point, picks her up and carries her out of the cave. And the mother is there. We have one last scene with the mother. And I'm about to die. We have one last scene with the mother, who is like, you have to come back with me. And it was implied a little bit in context with conversation to the uncle earlier, but she wants her to come back with her so that politically she can keep being a political figure. Like, Momo's actions put that in peril, so she wants her to come back so she can, like, stand trial or whatever. And she's abusive, as we established earlier, so she's like, you have to do it, you have to come back with me, even to the point where she pulls a gun on Momo, her daughter. And Momo's just like, hey, listen, I've been through a lot this week, and I'm a lot older and wiser now. I'm not just a kid anymore, and I'm not gonna do that. And she walks off with the gun pointed at her back, and the mom's like, you can't do this, and she doesn't shoot her, but, you know. So she gets away from the abusive home. That's a plus, that's a bonus. And she walks off with Fine in her arms, and places her in somewhere, I don't remember where. And as soon as she opens her mouth to sing, credits roll, it cuts. I died. Oops, hang on. I got a revive left, it's fine. Credits cut, and that's basically the anime. We are treated to one small scene at the end where Momo has basically, it's implied that Momo has established her own personal Eden, which is an actual Eden and not just like the psycho Eden that we saw earlier. And she is holding a newborn infant vampire child in her arms. And then that's it. That's the end of the anime. It's over. We did it. Okay. Take a breather after that. I'm gonna take a sip of my water because I have a lot of thoughts. So, 5 out of 10. I'd still give it a 5 out of 10 because there was so much about it that was just really confusing and not well explained. And I understand 5 episodes is not nearly enough to like world build a whole established like thing and to do everything you need to do. It's really, really not enough for this concept. You needed at least hello. Hang on. This is Harry. You needed at least the average anime runtime of like 12 to 24 to really make this work, I think. Primarily, you could have cut like at least 1, maybe 2 of the lockstep. They chase the girls, they find the girls, they beg the girls to come back, they say no, and then they run away again. You could have removed at least 1, maybe 2 of these sequences with the family. It would have built a lot more tension if you knew that they were pursuing these characters and you didn't, like, you implied it, you showed a couple scenes, you saw some war tanks in the distance, you know, like, it could have really built up to this moment. But instead, every time they encounter it, because we see it so often, it means nothing, and you get nothing out of it. So we could have just cut those scenes entirely and just kept building the character, like, relationships, which we didn't get nearly enough of either. Like, I feel like the family stuff was fine. It was implied enough. They did a good enough job with that. But the relationship specifically between Momo and Fine, which is the crux of the plot here, like you need to establish what it is we're doing. Are we doing the plot line that is the Romeo and Juliet plot line, where it's two people from a different world are not meant to be together, but they love each other? Are we doing the plot line where it's two people in tough circumstances, potentially abusive circumstances, that need to be literally anywhere else other than here? What is it that these characters' relationship has? Because the only scenes that we see are when they play the piano together, and they sing together, and they would die for each other, and that's basically it. That's the implication of the scenes that we get, and it just is not enough. So cut some of the action sequences, because if you weren't gonna do an action anyway, it's not really an action because again they just run away at the end of every scene. The only action sequence we get really that was like bombastic and cool was the uncle and Fine fight at the very end. So like, we're not doing action. We know we're not doing that. So let's develop these characters and let's put them like through some bonding moments that we can actually get behind. Oh my god, I'm getting swarmed. That's step number one, right? If you can't have more episodes, then trim some of the fat, because there's plenty that you can take out of here. You don't need those. I'm gonna tell you right now, you don't need those. Hang on, let me check my notes. I have many notes. World building. So, if the crux of this story is that she's a vampire, right? It's in the title. It's very much vampire is important to this story, right? I personally feel like vampire can be replaced with just about any human-eating supernatural creature. We don't really get the feeling that they're vampire in theme. Like it's there as far as like action. The brother drinks the blood of people. He's ruthless. He's awful. And in Fine's plotline being that she loved a human, so she does not drink blood anymore as a sacrifice to her. Like that's there, but it's all surface level. Like if you had made these characters these overwhelming, because like that's another thing you see a lot in vampire plots, right? Which is like vampires there's so few of them, and they usually have to regulate so that number one, people don't find out, and number two, there's enough blood to go around. If vampires are more abundant than humans, then how is this world work? Because we see these vampires, there's a shortage of blood. That's part of the show itself. But like, how did they sustain this? They don't ever like dig into that. And again, 5 episodes, I get it. But you need to, if you're going to use vampires as a crux to your plot, you need to establish some of these things to make it feel like it's important, to make it feel like it has meaning. Otherwise, I feel like these characters could have been any supernatural creature. Like, you could have had blood-drinking fae, and it would have worked probably better. Because, like, vampires, traditionally, you don't see them be human, right? If the whole crux of the plot lies on the fact that the humans don't get to sing and don't get to dance, and the whole reason that Momo and her form a connection is because she doesn't get to do those things, but the vampire does, because it's, quote, and I quote from the show, a part of their culture. What's the point of her, like... Why use vampire here? It just becomes confusing in that context. Again, like fae, the perfect stand-in, because fae are like the fun-loving party-goer. They lure you with all of their fun charms and whatever. You drink their wine, and then they take you somewhere nondescript and devour you. Hi, Anna. It would have worked 10 times better here. Sweetie. Okay. Ooh, I got a boy on me. It would have worked 10 times better here, and it would have made, like, way easier time transitioning, because when you use specific plot lines like that, and then throw out... Sweetie, sit in your chair. Hang on. There you go. Yeah, you have a chair. There you go. Good job. Baby. Okay, do you want to snuggle? Is that what you're telling me? Okay. Alright, you can snuggle. Okay. The whole point, as I was saying, the whole point of having established lore, established myths, is that so you can have the audience do a good chunk of the legwork for you already. Like, in their brains, they already have an established, like, setup for what a vampire is, right? So you can skip a lot of the world building because of that. But when you just throw it all out, there's no point to it, and it ends up just making it harder to watch. It just becomes more confusing and more just, you like, oh, well, there's queens and there's balls, but that's my frustration with that. If the vampires are going to be more human than the humans, don't make them vampires, because that's kind of one of those tropes that you need. And if you want to subvert that, you need to establish the world first and then subvert it, instead of this confusing back and forth where it's like, hang on one sec. Anna, can you sit in your chair, please? It's a little toasty warm in here. There you go. Good job. Instead of this confusing plotline where Fine learns about music and singing from a human that she randomly meets out in the middle of nowhere, and we never really get an explanation for that. They just meet and they hang out and they like each other. But it's a part of vampire culture to sing and dance. Why is it that that's a thing at all? Why is it that, because the typical plotline being, oh, well, the vampire learns to be human again from the human that they love. That's classic, that's traditional, but that, you don't even need that here? We implied that you don't need that. So why add it back in, just to add another layer of like, well, wouldn't she already know how to sing and dance and have a good time? I mean, maybe it was specifically, when they talked about it, maybe it was specifically referring to playing the piano. But then why would the human know how to play the piano? Is it just this town where they aren't allowed to sing and dance because there's too many vampires and it might draw attention? It's like the mental gymnastics, man. I don't even know what they're going for with that. And let's move on. Let's move on to the next thing. Let's see, what do we got? Because whatever. Whatever. It's just one thing in a pile of many. The animation was great, yeah. The pacing, I talked a little bit about the pacing, but the pacing is just really off. Things happen too quickly, and then things happen too slowly. And the motivations, specifically the motivations for the characters, are so vague and just unanswered at every turn. The best we can surmise is that the uncle seems to want to help Momo because he loves her, but we never... There's always like a weird undertone as well to each of the characters, where there's like, you don't really know if you believe them or not, right? And they could have leaned into that, and it could have been like, okay, well, what is the uncle's real motivation? But we never get any of that. We don't even get like a conversation between him and the mom all that much. I mean, like, it's implied that he knows how abusive and shitty she is, but he didn't do anything about it before, and he doesn't seem to really care all that much. He's just going to save Momo to take her home because of his own trauma, but we don't really... Like, we don't even get like a throwaway line where he's like, you can stay with me and we'll go explore, because that's what you want to do, right? You want to explore. And it's like, no, Momo really just wants to be with this girl and go settle down somewhere. Like, that's what Momo really wants, right? But she never says it. We only get that implied through, like, we don't even need her to say it, right? Oh, we did it. Congratulations. And all of my rant, we managed to do. Oh, I got an achievement too. Perfect. I like Cavallo. Let's do Cavallo. Moonglow. This is the new one, isn't it? Sure. Let's do it. She never says this, and because it's only 5 episodes long, Am I like I'm underwater? That's pretty neat. Okay. But because the show itself is only about 5 minutes long, we don't ever get enough time with them together to establish that they actually care about each other and that they have that connection. We don't get to establish that they're just mutual survival. We don't get enough time with that. And as I've already stated, like, there was plenty of time. You just didn't delegate it. Can I touch you, sir? Ooh. Fancy a new wizard. I need money for these things. I have a lot of money. Summon the merchant at all stages. Permanently improves a random stat from the current character by a tiny amount. Is there like character progression now in this game? Oh, this is the money dump, isn't it? Oh, no, 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 no. I guess I gotta pick a main now. Okay. Let me check my notes again real quick. Let's see. We don't spend enough time. This pacing. Talked about that. Filled off what people know and then subvert it when it's established. You have to set the rules at the beginning. Clear rules at the beginning. When you write these kinds of stories and they don't do that, it goes all over the place. The work would really benefit from a couple of read-throughs and trim the disjointed action. Yeah. Yeah, I would still give it a 5 out of 10 overall. The animation was pretty cool in a lot of spots, and it was very short. It was overall 5 episodes long, and I think 20 minutes per episode or 25 minutes, something like that. I was able to finish it in one sitting, so it's fine. I would not personally probably watch it again. Not really my thing to watch again. Even if it's got vampires in it, the vampires are not... It's not the jaunty vampire experience that you would hope it would be, you know? Like, I expected something very different when I went into it, which is especially, like, with it being called A Vampire in the Garden. I thought it was going to be like, she gets the music box right from the beginning of the show, and then she plays it, and then that summons a vampire, because it's some magical music box or whatever. And then they go through how she has to hide the vampire in her room or something, or she has to teach the vampire to be a human, but also find that for herself because they've been in lockdown. Like, I thought they were going to go that route with it and really dig into the characters, because a lot of vampire content tends to be very character focused. You get a lot of, like, really cool interactions between characters and a lot of moral, you know, question your morals kind of thing. And we don't really get any of that. So maybe it's just not my bread and butter. Maybe somebody else would enjoy it a lot more, but it wasn't for me. 5 out of 10. Let me read the little bit here. Let's see. Enjoyed a variety of the scenes. The story was easy to follow for the most part. Nothing done was really outstanding other than having a female character partner with women consistently and having no real, like, pressure or drama to be with a man. They never go that route, which was refreshing. They never, like, have that scene where they're like, oh, you have to marry a prince so we can have a king, or, like, you should stop hanging out with those women because blah, blah, blah. As far as I understand it, in Yuri in general, Yuri tends to treat female relationships like really good friendships, and as I've heard, I don't know this for sure, is that in Japan it's normal for girls, especially in, like, all girls schools, to have, like, really strong connections with other girls, but you're meant to, like, outgrow it. That's my understanding. They didn't go that route at all. They just didn't really touch much on it and then just ejected men from the plot, which I thought was kind of neat, if nothing else. I wouldn't say it's good sapphic representation, but it was different in that context. That's pretty cool. That's pretty fun. Let me see if there is anything else in a little bit. Yeah. Would recommend only because it's so short. That's about it. That's my gripe about A Vampire in the Garden. It's just nyeh. Disappointed. But nyeh. Okay, wait. Which one do I need? Oh, never mind. I thought I had the whip for a second, but I don't have the whip. It's fine. I finished that. Vampire in the Garden. One sitting. Wasn't long. The next thing I watched this week was a show on Crunchyroll called Nyanpire. And it was pretty good, actually. It was surprising because I thought this was the one that I was going to least enjoy, but it was, as I would say, of the three that I'm going to talk about tonight, it was probably the best one. which is weird because it was a kids show about a cat who becomes a vampire. And there's not much story to it, so we'll keep it real brief. But the basic story that you see in the intro is like there was a cat that was on. Oh hi, howdy. Talking about vampire shows. You making that bread today? What's the plan? Ooh, fucking snakes. Yes, the basic premise of Nyanpire is that it is a show. At the very beginning in the intro sequence, there's a vampire that shows up, and there's this kitten, I guess, like about to die or whatever, and he gives it some blood, and it turns into a vampire. And it's a kids show, so it's like a nice little cartoon animated thing. Yep, as usual, nice. Yeah, it's a kids show, about what you'd expect. It's pretty lighthearted in general, and it just kind of follows along. It was a little confusing though because they don't sell it as a kids show, so I was about 3 episodes in when I think the music cue was what clued me in on it being like, I gotta look this up. Is this for kids? Because it's not really implied all that much. Other than it being cute, and the episodes are like, they're technically 4 minutes long, but there's 2 minutes of like intro and outro cutscenes, so you can just skip those entirely and knock the entire series. I think it's 12 episodes. You can knock the entire thing out in 30 minutes. So like, definitely recommend it if you're interested in it. Yeah. So each episode is its own like isolated episode. And you follow along this vampire cat and shenanigans. He gets adopted immediately, and he basically wants to make friends. It's so short. It was so weird too, cause yeah, there's a whole like music video outro. There's a whole 2 minutes of just like, this is not anything, and it's the same one every single episode, so you can just completely skip it and knock it out in no time. Yeah, they introduced like a couple characters. There's one character that's like a samurai character, and there's not any like girl cats. The owner is this like cute girl, but that's it. There's no other girls in the series, and the samurai like shows up in the second, samurai cat I should say, shows up in like the first or second episode and like falls in love with Nyan Cat. There's this weird bit. This was the part where I got confused, and this is probably just a difference of culture or whatever, but there's this weird bit where the samurai's like, so what's your type? And Nyan Cat says something along the lines of long hair and big boobs, and that's when I was like, I need to look this up to be sure, because I'm not so certain this is for kids. And it was on a children. Oh, I don't like this. The screen is getting real woobly. Stop right there. Alright, developer, I request to be able to turn that off. That's making me motion sick. I'm not a fan. I'm gonna try to just sit still. Maybe that will... Oh. What? Oh, I finished it, right. It was a hyper. Or not? Wait. That should be it, right? Oh yeah, we did it. Unlocked the merchant. And skip. Perfect. Let me think. Nyanpire. I like this character. Let's do this. Green Acres. Non-hurry. Oh, there's the merchant. There he is, little wiggly guy. Yeah, there's a samurai character. There is an angel character that's just kind of the chaotic, shit-stirring kind of character. At one point, he's like, "Drink my blood, Nyanpire, to make the samurai jealous." And it's just like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. But he makes the best like facial expressions, so whatever. I'll give it a pass. Generates damaging zones when moving. I think this is the music making thing. I think. Is this what this is? Oh no, it's like a... Yeah, okay. This is the guitar character has this weapon. Oops. Oh, I guess you get one purchase and then that's it. Alright, noted. Nyanpire. What was it? Yeah, there's the angel character. There ends up in like the 6th episode, there's like a brother character. There's some cute bits with that. Nyanpire is basically like an idiot, I guess, for lack of a better term. And he has to like the brother character ends up, the younger brother ends up like taking care of him and stuff. It's really cute. I recommend it. There's not any like way to spoil it really. It's just like a fun little jaunt through a vampire cat. And as I was saying, with it being the best one of the week, the best show of the week, it actually like you kind of have to have this character be a vampire in order for the premise to work. At least as far as like the stories that they end up choosing to use. So like, okay, cool. Thematic like purpose for having a vampire do stuff. And he's cute and stupid, so we love that. It fits the bill. It's perfect. And then yeah, recommend it completely. It's on Crunchyroll, super short. I don't think there's anything else to say about it really. And then the last show that I tried to watch, which was, let me pull it up because it's a weird fucking name, Miss Vampire Who Lives in My Neighborhood. That was the third one of the week. And spoilers for my my talk on this. I only watched about 3 episodes. I did not enjoy it. Not for any strong reasons. It was just really boring. that was it. I guess I'll give a tiny amount of context for it. Basically, a girl here's a rumor that there is a doll, ghost doll that is near like a haunted house area, and she's super here for it. She's super into it, so she goes and inspects, and then it's actually a vampire, and the vampire carries her home because she's lost. And then she ends up... These are barely spoilers, because like I said, I only watched like 3 episodes. So she ends up like living with her. She asks her parents even, because I thought they were gonna do the whole thing where it's like, oh, she's an orphan. Oh no, she has parents and they're cool with it. They're like, yeah, whatever. Your friend's a vampire, cool, let's do it. That's great. So whatever excuse we can get. The show itself does not need to be a vampire. It barely needs to be a vampire, and the pacing is so ungodly slow that it's just, who cares? I feel like there was this one episode where they're walking to a book signing, and I swear I paused the episode and looked at the length of the episode, and I was about 15 minutes into it, and nothing had happened. They were still they were sitting on a park bench. It's like, what is the point of any of this? Why? And I'll tell you the point of it. It's apparently, I didn't get this far, but it's apparently a Yuri anime. So I guess that's the point. I tried to watch it, but it was just they introduced a friend character in the second episode, and the main character's like, yeah, she's a vampire, and the friend was like, okay, I'm kind of scared about that, but I guess this is fine. There's a part where the vampire is like, yeah, we're supposed to not go reveal ourselves, but I don't really care. So nothing matters. Nothing happens. At least in the first 3 episodes. I don't think I'm gonna finish it, boys. I don't think I can do it. I don't think I have it in me. I tried. Oh my goodness. Yes, ma'am. Where are you? It was underneath me. How'd you do that? What are you doing? Wanna say hello? Yeah? Are you the streamer now? Come here. Come here. You wanna come here? Yeah, okay. You're the streamer now. I'm gonna take a drink. Can you... Don't walk away. This is your moment. Yeah, let him know. You tell him. Yes, ma'am. Okay. You tell... Oh, did you tell him all you need to tell him? Cross all your T's, dot your I's. You let him know? Okay, yes ma'am. Okay. Are you... Okay. She's here too. She needs you to know that. She is here. I think that was about it for that one. I mean, it's kind of cute. It's kind of a slice of life. I like slice of life generally, but I like when things happen more. Like, you know, character growth and that kind of thing. So far, as far as 3 episodes, we had her be like, I don't mind being alone. And then you had like a moment where she was like, I kind of miss her. I guess that's character growth. We didn't get to see why. She seems really, the main character seems really annoying. Whatever. It's fine. Nothing matters, I guess. That's it. That's the animes I watched this week. Of the 3, as I said earlier, Nyanpire was the best one. I actually would genuinely recommend that one, especially because it is so short. And it's just really cute. It was good. As far as other like vampire news this week, I'm still waiting for news on the AMC show, the AMC Interview with the Vampire show. We'll hear more about it someday. I heard it's supposed to come out in the fall, I think, last I checked. So I don't know. Keep an ear out for it. I think V Rising came out a couple weeks ago. I don't remember if I got to talk about that one on the last Vampire stream, but it's a is it top-down isometric? I don't remember. Isometric view, I guess. Vampire game where you are it's kind of plays a little bit, seems like Diablo-esque, I guess. There's skill trees and you can gorge yourself on different kinds of blood for different bonuses. There's a building mechanic, but it doesn't look like my kind of thing. I probably will not check it out unless it goes on like deep sale. It's also early access still, so like, yeah, I'll wait. I'll wait a bit. I ain't that desperate for vampire stuff, alright? But some people are having fun with it, so if it looks like your kind of thing, you know, that's cool. That's cool, that's cool. What else? What else? There was something else. Oh yeah, Dracula Daily's still going on. And it just went on a hiatus as well. And I mentioned this in previous streams, but the way that Dracula Daily works is it's all of the entirety, apparently, of Dracula. And Dracula is written in, like, journals and letters that are dated. So they're giving them to you in the order that they are dated in. And because the dates, there's like a dead period right now. You just have to wait a couple weeks. I probably will not be reading them just because I cannot focus when I look at emails and my eyes glaze over. I hate them. They're the worst. But I did pick up the audiobook again for Dracula, and I got caught up to where Dracula Daily is. So, you know, close enough. That's close enough. Eventually, someday, you'd think I've already read it, but I haven't. Someday I will read it all, and we'll have a big, long, nice conversation about that, I'm sure, but until then... Oh, good, a follower bot. Howdy, welcome, follower bot. Yeah, let me just take care of that real quick. You. Let's go ahead and report. Where's the? There it is. It's a bot. It's a scam. Yeah, there you go. I gotta type. Hang on. It's a scam. Certified scam. Don't click that link. It's Bupkis. Oh yeah, I forgot to block the user. Hang on. We gotta get them out of here. First things first. A ban. Perfect. There's a game that I'm looking forward to quite a bit. It says coming soon on Steam. It doesn't elaborate more than that, but it's called... Oh, what is it called? It's basically you have a bunker for vampires. That's the premise. Is you have like a, I don't know if it's like a coven. I guess it's a coven. You have your own coven. And it's like a not a city builder, but a management style game. I'm so excited for that one. That one is gonna be so stupid and wonderful, I hope. There's more vampire bullshit. That's all I want. That's all I need in my life. Is there anything else before... Oh, this week. This is not vampire related. Oh, it could be. We don't know yet. This week is the week where E3 is now dead, but we still get video showcases. And the video showcases, we already saw PlayStation, which was very short, surprisingly short. That was it, that was all. And then... What else did we get? Oh yeah, we're getting Summer Games Fest, I think in like 2 days? I think I talked about this on one of the Sandrock streams, but we're getting Summer Games Fest soon. And this weekend will be Xbox and PC Gaming Show, I think. And a few others. So we're getting some announcements, so maybe something vampire related will be there. It's not totally unrelated. We'll see. See how it's going. I'll keep an eye on it. I do watch them, and then like stream them to my Discord friends. So we'll see how that goes. I gotta think. I gotta think real hard. Anything else? Diablo Immortal came out. Is that vampire related? I don't think it is. People are mad. Oh my god, people are mad. Right, it reminds me a lot of the launch for what was that? It was I'm getting fucked up a little bit. Hang on. The EA Battlefront game where it was basically pay to win, and you had to like pay billions of dollars to unlock all the characters or some garbage. Not billions, but a lot of money. Yeah, it's pay to win. Here we are again, brother. We made it. Another disaster by a AAA developer because of pay to win. Are we surprised? No, not really. But I also don't give two fucks about Diablo. And the only thing it's worth to me is the memes and the bits. But I mean, you know, fair enough though. I haven't ever played them, so I want to be fair in that analysis. I have not played any of the Diablo games, so I've only played Torchlight, and it was boring. Torchlight 2, and it was boring. Oh my god, was it boring? I'm not a big fan of those like top-down not shooters. Wait, that's something different. RNG looter style games. Not into them, but honestly, if they would just do them right and make them fun, yeah, the concept sounds fun enough. In practice, though, Not so much. Do I have the knife. Yeah. It's just being real slow. Okay. I do still need to watch Castlevania, but I don't got Netflix no more, so rest in peace, I guess. I'll do it in another life. We did pick up, Morbius. That's another thing. Ugh. Morbius memes are dead now. Confirmed. You heard it here first, folks. Probably not even. I'm probably not, like, anywhere. It's like a week ago. Whenever the Jared Leto Twitter garbage, there you go. That's when it died. As soon as your parents get a hold of it, as soon as Jared Leto gets a hold of it, it's over, man. That's it and that's all. So, that's for the best. I tried to watch the movie though. I think I said this on Sandrock, but I tried to watch the movie. And when I looked it up, they are not streaming it anywhere. The only place you can get a hold of it is by physically going to a movie theater. And even hypothetically, if I physically could go to the movie theater, I'm not wasting my energy and my money on Morbius for a stream bit. I ain't doing it. I feel like at that point I just need to stand up for my morals on this one and just not even not even tempt that kind of demon. Like, I don't. Maybe someday I'll watch it and I'll let you guys know so nobody else has to watch it. Please, dear God, do not watch the movie. It's terrible. But until then, I guess. What was it? I did not confirm this, but I did hear from a very unreliable source that the people, because of the memes were so popular, the executives that were in control of whatever the fuck, were like, yeah, let's show it in 80,000 more theaters or some garbage like that, and then nobody went and saw it, and it made only like, out of that run, it made only like $70-something thousand. Get fucked, I guess. I mean, this is what you get for thinking memes are like, they mean anything, especially memes about how like terrible it is. That's what you get, I guess. I don't know. I have no personal attachment to Marvel or anything, even in that hemisphere of Marvel, so I don't know if it's like even like bad by Marvel standards nowadays. Like, I watched the originals, of course. Everybody watched those, right? Like, I've seen the first Captain America. I've seen the first like 2 Iron Man movies. I've seen some Spider-Mans. I don't know which ones. Into the Spider-Verse was good. That's not Marvel though, but you know, I might as well plug it while I'm here. While I'm in superhero territory. But is it just that bad? Like they're not that bad, right? The other movies, or they are, aren't they? Like Black Widow, for instance, or like, are they just bad? I don't know. But Morbius is bad. It's bad. But we'll talk about it someday, I guess. Someday. We'll talk about how it has nothing to do, basically, with vampires. Because that's my prediction. I'm gonna predict it right now. It ain't got... The only thing that it's got to do with vampires is like a loose premise. I'm gonna bet money right now. And I've never read any comic ever, so don't even come at me with that shit. I will not start now. Not for Morbius. Maybe for something else, but definitely not for Morbius. God help me. I think that's about it for vampire news. I think we did it. I think we're all caught up. I wanted to get this stream rolling, get this done with before I forgot the entirety of vampire in the garden. So I'm glad we knocked it out, but I think we did it. I think we accomplished what we set out to do. So I'm gonna finish this run, and then I guess I'll fuck off. What else can we talk about? What else is going on? Cross. We haven't done Cross tonight. I like Cross. He's a good little man. I think I talked about this last time, but I got a friend who started playing Vampire Survivors not too long ago. Finally, after I'm literally I'm in my personal Discord begging people to play this game. That's how much I love this game. It's so good and it's so simple, and they're updating it all the time. I will shill and plug for this game all day long because it's like $2. It's like $3 or $2 or something like that. Like, it's so good. But anyway, I finally got one friend who's playing it. And I watched him play it. I was trying to be really good because you know that shitty moment when you're playing something and your friends like butt in with like, actually this is the better option. Like, no. I set out initially. I was like, I'm not gonna be that person. I'm not gonna be that shithead. I'm just gonna sit back, and if he has questions, I'll help him. And if he just wants to vibe and shoot things, then that's cool too. Like, I was gonna be the supportive, like, side character who don't open their mouth unless it's important to the plot. And I did that. And I think it went really well. I think he liked it. The only things, like, every now and then I would be like, he would ask like, oh, well, what do you need to upgrade this thing? Because apparently, so in the game, I'm sure you've seen that, like, the little icon now pops up with things that can upgrade other things, right? When I started playing the game, that wasn't there, and apparently it don't show up until you upgrade it once. So I guess you get the achievement that you've upgraded it once. So, like, every now and then he'd be like, so what does this need to be upgraded? And I was like, I can help you with that. But otherwise it was just fine. It was fun. It's a nice time. He doesn't play it anymore. He plays Noida now and hates every second of it, but you know, you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make him drink. That's on him. That's his problem, literally. I ain't playing Noida. I ain't playing that game. I do not want to be fucking sad and or mad for the hour experience that it would take for me to go, you know what, I'm good. Not my thing. Gold fever. Oh, baby. Oh. Ooh. Oh, God. I'm hurting. Hang on. Let me keep moving. I cannot stop. Can't stop the beat. Oh, God. Ooh. I'm having to duck and weave. I did not make that much money either. That's okay. I have maxed everything out pretty much, so I'm not too worried about it. Not hurting for cash. Although, now that I think that, the merchant now will upgrade my characters, which means I need infinitely more money. I think there's like, so you know how when I unlocked the, hang on, let me use my brain for 2 seconds. Okay, when I unlocked the devil character, I just basically sat in a cheesy little spot and was not hit the entirety of the run, and then leveled all in like in one go. Like, it cheesed it pretty much. I didn't look this up, but I'm pretty sure there's a couple of ways you can cheese the money mechanic in this game too, and you can just farm it out in like 2 seconds. I'm not gonna do that because I enjoy this game enough that I'll just do it the legitimate way. But that's something you can do if that's something that interests you, especially now that they've added basically a money sink. A literal absolute money sink. Money hole, if you would. Then yeah, fair enough. I might cheese it for that alone, but we'll see. Again, I play this game enough. I do farm this game offline sometimes too, just for the fun of it, just for the heck of it. To see what I can get away with. I saw something in the achievements as well. That was unlock the randomazo, and I do not know what they mean by that. I guess I'll have to pull up the wiki. Ain't nobody here gonna tell me, so I'll look it up next time. I have a bunch of achievements left. The only achievements I super have left, except for like 1 or 2 item achievements, is to complete a run with each character after unlocking the randomazo. So that would be nice to knock those achievements out. I think I'm at like 90% completion or something like that, so I would like to get that rolling, get that finished up. Just got a little cleanup to do, and then whatever the randomazo shit is, and then I'm gold. I'm good to go until the next update, which will probably be in like 2 weeks, because they crank out updates for this game, which we love that. But goddamn, I can't keep up, stream-wise at least. I gotta like, that's part of the kicker, right? And my friends give me shit for this, but I refuse to play Vampire Survivors on stream, and I will not play the new content until I've played it on stream. But in order to do a Vampire Survivor stream, I force myself to have vampire content to talk about. So I'm like toiling away in the vampire mines. I'm like, oh god, what kind of bottom of the barrel shit are we gonna watch today? Like what kind of audio books can I at least with anime, like I was able to knock those out in like anywhere from 30 minutes to like 5 hours or something like that. Not even that long, probably like maybe like 3 hours for Vampire in the Garden. Like audiobooks, whenever I go down audiobooks as my like media of choice, them bitches like 11 hours long, man. Like the last stream, I think I talked about 3 audiobooks, and it was a culmination of at least 30 hours of fucking content, and it was not at all worth it. Not even a little bit for any of it. I do, however, I use this app called Libby, and basically all you have to do is you put in your library card. That hurts. Oh god. Hang on, wait. I gotta focus. Basically all you have to do is put in your library card, and then you can rent books for free on your phone. In particular audiobooks, because if I had to read those fucking books, I would never get through them. Yes. So you can rent books for free, but you kind of have to like wait in line. So the library has like, just like in real life, they have so many copies of it. You can reserve your spot whenever they open up, and you wait in line until you get the book, right? And everybody gets 2 weeks, pretty much. Everybody gets 2 weeks with the book itself. So for the more popular books, I'm in the queue now for Interview with a Vampire again. I do want to refresh myself and at least read through that one, maybe twice, maybe skim it the second time before the show comes out in the fall. So I'll probably have that one to talk about in not too long. I think I've been in the queue long enough now that it shouldn't be coming up anytime. That would be nice. That would be a nice fresh breath of air, because God bless it. And there's fucking shit I can talk. I can talk shit about anything, but I can talk shit about Interview with a Vampire. But at least, ooh, I died. Hang on, let me revive real quick. At least it tries, and it is successful in a lot of ways. Maybe not as successful in some ways, but it's successful in a lot of ways. I look forward to it. Good content, please. Dear God, I'm like crawling through the desert wastes of vampire content at this point. Where was that? There was a boss around here somewhere. I should not have picked that stupid drill. The drill is useless. Okay. We're gonna survive. We're gonna do this. 7 more minutes, right? No, never mind. We aren't. I jinxed it. I shouldn't have said anything. All right. If anybody has any suggestions on the record for vampire outfits that I can dress my little PNG tuber character in, hit me up, because I still don't know what a vampire would wear on their head. And I'm not doing a top hat. So that's anything else, please, for the love of God, if you can think of anything else. Oh, I can't go over there because here, I'll just copy. I was gonna go to my little just chatting screen that I've got set up, but I'll just copy the vampires. Throw it. Oh god. Oh god. Oh, that's horrifying. Okay. All right, we'll just go over here. Yeah, so let me know if you have any ideas for that, because I'm stumped. I'm not going to put him in a top hat. I'm not going to give him the widow's peak, so anything else is open for suggestions. I could do the cape and whatever, but, you know. I was also thinking about maybe, like Lestat's, like, outfit, because it's very iconic and very poofy, and we love it. Yeah, just let me know. Especially Alex, hit me up with them ideas if you got some, because I don't fucking know. I can't even, like, I could just put a bat on my head or something. I don't know. Anyway, hi sweetie. I have some ideas for streams. I wanted to do hi sweetie. I wanted to do Chibi Robo tonight, but I was very tired, so I wanted to do something else instead. I ended up probably talking way more, but whatever. We're here now. We did it. We finished. That's what's important. So next time will probably be Chibi Robo. I'm really excited for it. It's hands down one of my favorite fucking games ever. I got a cute outfit for it. I got a cute bit. I'm gonna be doing the voices and shit. I'm so excited. So hit that up if you're interested. Is there anything else going on? Is there anything else I'm forgetting? I don't think so. I think that's it and that's all. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Thanks for hanging out with me and listening to me rant about fucking vampires. Story of my life over here. For how long does the stream go? How long we got? An hour and 40 minutes. I appreciate that, because boy was it a doozy. The struggle. Yeah, thanks. And have a good day today, because it is daytime. So, and a good night for those of you in Australia, because there's some of you. I know you're out there. Bye. Thanks. Bye. See ya. Anna, do you want to say bye? I don't know if that... Oh, she's here. She's peeping. You just can't hear it. Okay, bye.